it's Maura, and here's my video on how to write a limerick poem. Okay, how to start. I think we should start off by understanding what a limerick poem is. So here's the definition. A short, witty, 5-lined poem that has a certain time and a distinct beat. To help you see what a limerick poem sounds and looks like, I wrote an example poem to start. There once was a boy named Pat. He wore a very large hat. The wind came one day and blew it away, but now where is his hat at? A limerick poem has 5 lines. Each line are a different length and a certain amount of syllables. For the first, second, and fifth lines should all rhyme and be 7 syllables long. They should be longer than the third and fourth lines and should rhyme with each other. The third and fourth line should rhyme with each other and each have only 5 syllables, so they're a little shorter. The first line. So your first line should be 7 syllables long and it should introduce your character. Here's the example poem of the first line. There once was a boy named Pat. As you can see, it has 7 syllables and introduces your character. The second line. The second line should rhyme with the first line and describe more detail about your character, and it too must have 7 syllables. Example. There once was a boy named Pat, and the second line is, he wore a very large hat. It rhymes with the first line, tells you a little more about your character, and it also has 7 syllables. The third line. This line should not rhyme with the other 2. It introduces a problem or conflict, and it should be about 5 syllables long. Example. There once was a boy named Pat. He wore a very large hat. And the third line is, the wind came one day. See how this doesn't rhyme? It shouldn't rhyme with the other 2. It also only has 5 syllables, and it starts to introduce the conflict or the start of a conflict. The fourth line. It should rhyme with the third line only. It should finish off the conflict, and it should be 5 syllables long. The example. There once was a boy named Pat. He wore a very large hat. The wind came one day, and here's our fourth line, and blew it away. And so, see, it rhymes with the third line only, it finishes off your conflict, and it has 5 syllables. The fifth line. Okay, so this is the fifth line. It's also the final line in your poem. It should rhyme with the first and second line. It should, again, be 7 syllables long, and it's the last line of the poem, which means it should probably wrap up your little story. Example. There once was a boy named Pat. He wore a very large hat. The wind came one day and blew it away, and now where is his hat at? It rhymes with the first and second line, it's 7 syllables long, and it's the last line of the poem. Your final poem should have all of these qualities and should sound like this with this distinct rhythm and beat. There once was a boy named Pat. He wore a very large hat. The wind came one day and blew it away, and now where is his hat at? Thanks, I hope you enjoy writing.